Live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday Club. It's been a big week as far as elections are concerned. We've had one really big election, one medium election, and one small election, but all of them have grabbed eyeballs and all of them have thrown up different results. And today we're here to discuss those different results with the Sunday Club panel of political experts.
What's so
Starting.
funny? So what's so funny? Is this comedy or what?
I just felt very fake when I said political experts, and I wasn't being my
Well,
authentic.
yeah, you can't
So,
keep lying about yourself so often. But for us, it's
I
true.
was talking about you all. I was talking about you all. Anyway, let's start. So here, let's start with the. Should we start with the big election or the small election? Let's
There
start
are,
with Gujarat.
as Satyajit Ray said, there's no art cinema or commercial cinema. There's only good cinema and bad cinema. Every election is important. These guys made the MCD election look as if it was the US presidential election.
But
Yeah,
it is actually,
exactly.
Suhail, if you were to look at when she's saying big election, small election, MCD election is actually bigger than the Himachal election because Himachal
Absolutely.
population is less than one third of MCD's population. Okay, and Himachal election is actually smaller than the Ahmedabad municipality election. It is, in terms of if you're going population wise. If you want to go by value added terms, in terms of GDP generated, GSP generated, Himachal is still smaller. Okay, compared to
Yeah, but
Ahmedabad
Himachal
or
sends people to Lok Sabha. MCD doesn't. And ultimately, a political party like the BJP is constantly looking at every election from a winnability point of view. Look, I've always said BJP should have been the election political party of India, and Congress could have been the governance political party. Because the BJP knows how to win elections.
Hmm.
No question.
Yeah. And I think the Gujarat win was just simply crazy. I don't think anybody predicted that. Pallavi, did you see it coming? You were in
But five
Gujarat.
of those AAP MLAs are likely to join the BJP.
I saw. I saw. So what does that take it up
Imagine.
to as far as the BJP is concerned? Whew,
It doesn't make a
insanity.
difference to them, but in terms of numbers, but in terms of optics and messaging, it becomes very important, na? And for AAP, because AAP was tom-tomming the fact that they have become a national party, and देखो Gujarat में भी also हमने खाता खोला and all that kind of stuff, and they go and join the BJP. So I mean, in that sense, Sandeep, what is that? Okay,
Yeah,
in
first we saw
in
his
terms of
career, and then we saw his cup.
So in terms of that for the BJP, I mean, AAP ke liye, I don't know. I mean, I would see that as a setback definitely for AAP. The CM candidate loses, their MLAs are likely to join the BJP. So, I mean, and
So let's
Arvind
let's
Kejriwal was going on and on about being a national party.
so let's analyze this from two perspectives. Number one, what does it mean for India? And two, what does it mean for the respective political parties? There is no question that India is not going to be, for a long time to come, a single party country, as has been seen at regional levels. And today, the Congress has come back in Himachal, no matter what you might say. BJP with all its money power. And this is the second loss that the BJP has had at a state level within almost a year and a half, if you look at Bengal earlier. Number two, it's quite clear that pro incumbency as a word must be shoved into the Indian electoral lexicon. Today, what
Mhm.
happened in Gujarat is pro incumbency. Today, what we are seeing in many parts is pro incumbency. But there's also punishment for non performance. A lot of people have said over the last couple of days across channels that MCD was seen as a very corrupt, opaque body. And since the BJP was in charge, BJP got punished for what happened with the MCD. Third, there is no question that Arvind Kejriwal is now at the, is in the crosshairs. Forget national party, not national party. He has chosen to pitch himself against Modi willy-nilly. People's perception, he will be the one who will be the challenger to Modi and to Modi's successor if and when there is one. So he has said, he has repositioned himself that he's not one of the many leaders of regional parties who can then make a play for national prominence. Number three, and this is an important point, it is very, very clear that the BJP, no matter what it might say, it also now suffers from what I would call the Congress malaise of people within the BJP breaking away. You know, earlier it was the Karyakarta and discipline and Shasan. We have seen that the rebel candidates in Himachal said, to hell with you guys, you all are playing truant, we're going our way. So the BJP is no longer ring fenced by ideology alone. It is also today a party which is seeing the same issues at play which other parties have seen. Number four, and I will stop after this, it's a great morale booster for the Congress. And I'd said it on another channel, only if Rahul Gandhi had half a brain and had actually sent out a tweet thanking Mr. Kharge, congratulating the cadres, and then saying, wow, what a great job, rather than thanking just the people of Himachal. See, the point, Advaita, is when you're the chairman of the board, and Sandeep is going to be in a position like that very soon, when you're the chairman of the board, it's a lot of grace in congratulating the CEO for a great job well done. No matter what you might say, Kharge was and is the CEO of the Congress. And in that, there would have been a lot of grace. Where the Congress has learnt its lessons is rather than allowing number 10 Janpat or the Gandhis to pick, they have finally agreed to allow the MLAs to pick their leader. That's why Sukhu is Sukhchain rather than anyone else. So I'm seeing great recalibration within the Congress party as well. For the BJP, the hypocrisy of Indian politics remains. Everyone has credited Narendra Modi for the success in Gujarat, but no one has, criticized him for the loss in Himachal. It's quite clear that losses must be borne by second-rung leaders and never by the top person.
I think that's a little harsh. I don't think, I think the Himachal result were a direct consequence of the complete rebel faction that just...
Whatever, but he has blamed Modi.
Votes is 500 to
See,
1,000 between victory and loss. Yeah, Pallavi,
I
go
don't
ahead.
think it's a rebel factor, but there are two things which I noticed when I traveled there. There is an infighting which took place in Himachal, definitely. So there were various camps. Now, Jairam Thakur's area, in that area, they've done very well. The BJP has done well. But look at Anurag Thakur versus JP Nadda. Everyone knows about their rivalry. They were not talking to each other. The camps were at loggerheads. And some of the candidates would say that, hum mar jayenge in dono ke jhagde ke beech. There is an infighting, and I'm told, like we were discussing yesterday, Advaita, the PM is not too happy about that. I mean, you lose because of an anti-incumbency, any other reasons, but you lose because of infighting means there's something basically wrong. That's one. Second, there was an anger in that Kangra, Una belt, the Agniveer, the OPS. I don't think the BJP understood how serious the OPS issue was actually becoming, because everywhere I was going, the women card is important. But, the family was run very often on OPS money. So it's the rest of the family members who also had to face the brunt of that scheme being removed. And there was a lot of anger on that, which the Congress smartly, it could have gone wrong either which way. So Congress very smartly harped on the OPS issue and the Agniveer issue, because in a state like Himachal, Fauji's bahut hai. And, the OPS issue matters a lot, especially at Una, Kangra, Hamirpur, in all those belts where the Congress party has done well. So BJP ka infighting, rebel factor, and underestimating the importance of the OPS factor. I know everyone was talking differently. One day Anurag Thakur is saying something on OPS, one day Nadda is saying something on ODS. It left the people very confused, and they did not believe that anything is going to change once the results come out.
But do you think there'll be consequences, Pallavi, in the BJP?
Dekho, aaj Adesh Gupta had to resign on the MCD, where frankly speaking, the performance of the BJP and MCD was not too bad. I mean, 3 terms of being there, 15 years of anti-incumbency, still someone is pulled up. We're waiting for a cabinet reshuffle to take place. I mean, I'll see whether it's reflected in that. But I think the message which goes out is also very interesting and clear, is that Modi is the person. and the party president Nadda is not infallible. And we were talking about Anurag Thakur the other day. So I mean, I don't know if it's going to have an impact on him, because will he remain as an INB minister also, along with being a sports minister? But I think the BJP believes in teaching lessons also to its own people. So maybe, possibly.
Sandeep?
Pallavi, you think just simply dropping somebody from the cabinet is a lesson enough? That could be, I think, a very, a small way of showing that it's a very tokenism, I would say. The problems are much more deeper. My worry is what Himachal has played out in a sort of a miniature scale. You have this waiting for you in Karnataka and other states. So, how is BJP going to change and preempt that, especially, let's say, Karnataka? And I don't think, even as it stands today, even in Madhya Pradesh or Rajasthan, can change, but there is not too much of time in hand for them to sort out issues in these two states also. But immediately in Karnataka, uh, to me, it appears a very, very confused picture. And I would be worried about what's the scenario in Karnataka today.
Let me
And
tell
there,
you,
I think
sorry,
there are
take.
lots of, no, I'm saying there are therefore lots of lessons to be taken out for BJP out of Himachal.
Let
Yeah,
me tell
Sohail.
you. Let me tell you what Sandeep is saying. There are three or four things happening here. Number one, in terms of electoral politics in India, funding plays a very important role. Today, Arvind Kejriwal is in the money, not of the same amount or caliber that the BJP is. Congress is now going to be in the money because they already have Rajasthan. They will now have this. So, it's there. Third, which you have to understand, is that Kejriwal has realized that in order to fight the BJP, he has to straddle two boats, one boat of development and the other boat of crying wolf. That is what's happening today. What is another very interesting thing is the infallibility of Narendra Damodar Das Modi. It was said by Kamraj of Indira Gandhi that Indira is India, India's Indira. Never has this been truer of any Indian political leader since independent India. There is no question of Narendra Modi's popularity. There will be many decriers, there'll be people who may have nasty things to say about him, but he is truly a pan India leader who needs now to make forays into the southern parts of India and obviously some eastern parts, including Bengal and Orissa. To match him, you will need a disruptor. What Kejriwal is, he has grown from being a minor irritant, literally a boil on the neck, to someone who can actually be a political disruptor. Also, remember one golden rule, Advaita. People are happy when their parties are in power. So the happiness factor of the Congress has improved manifold. That will be a big boost for them in Rajasthan and in Karnataka. Karnataka again has the same problem that Shundeep talked about. You can fight an external enemy, but it's very difficult to fight an internal enemy. Today, the internal enemy in the BJP is the slugfest they're having on the borders of Karnataka and Maharashtra, where people from Maharashtra are getting beaten up on the borders of Karnataka. Both states have BJP governments. So the BJP can't even slice that and blame one versus the other. These are all going to be contentious issues as they come to the fore. Having said that, the distraction machine of the BJP, and rightly so, has already been set in motion. See, the beautiful thing about the BJP is they always do what they promise to, whether you like it or not. The Uniform Civil Code will now become the focus of attention, followed by the Ram Mandir as you enter 2024's general elections. So the BJP strategic map is played out beautifully. What they have to manage is how do they control their flock? How do they ensure that people are disciplined for lack of performance? And how do they make sure that people remain motivated in states where they have lost? Because those states, remember, will also vote for the Lok Sabha. So they can't afford to have dissension, which leads to further loss or erosion.
Pallavi,
See, there,
it was quite interesting to see the entire Gandhi family head to Himachal and to be there on stage. Rahul Gandhi kind of paused his Bharat Jodo Yatra to be there. What do you make of the optics? What do you think that they're trying to say? Are they trying to say that we're still in charge? Is that the message they want to give after that president's election? Or or that we have stake in this win, that Priyanka Gandhi was out there campaigning, so she's a bhagidar in this win. What is the messaging there?
So I agree with Tehseen Poonawalla, who has been saying this for the last couple of days also. And I went to the Congress headquarters a day after the results came out, and I don't know if you people know this Jagdish Sharma. He's that little fat guy in the Congress, one who works with Robert Vadra and
Robert
Priyanka.
Vadra.
And yeah, and he's the one who always get those patakas and firecrackers. Always,
The
always. Koi bhi
posters.
election result ho, whether they win or not, doesn't matter. He'll always get those. So he was telling me कि madam मैं आया when the results came out, and I'm the only one who came. Two of my workers came with me, no one else from the party came. I think somewhere down the line, this message also went to the party that you have to own wins, no matter big, small, kuch bhi ho. Himachal is a win. I mean, it is 2018 was the last time any Congress leader was sworn in as a chief minister. Uske baad, look at them now. They had to win, and they had to own their win. I think that is also a larger messaging. They wanted to make a big deal about it because the BJP makes a big deal about MCD. In fact, this question was asked of them that if the BJP makes it a big deal about winning Gujarat and all of that, then why can't the Congress do it? After all, they're getting a victory after such a long time. So I think they wanted to own up the win. They also wanted to show who calls the shots, because I was looking at the pictures because I was in the studio at that point of time and I was anchoring. I saw how it was happening. I mean, Rajiv Shukla goes, greets Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka, and Pratibha Singh actually goes and hugs Rahul Gandhi, goes and hugs Priyanka. Then again, Sukhwinder goes and gets his mother to meet with the Gandhis. It's very clear that the Gandhis still call the shots. And look where they were sitting. There was Kharge, there was Rahul, and there was Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. So, of course, they're always going to be important. They are Gandhis after all. And second is, I think now the clamor has begun. It's going to begin even further. That Priyanka ko lao, she's lucky. She may not have been lucky in UP, but yahan pe she ran the campaign, she kind of orchestrated it. Let's use her in Rajasthan, in Madhya Pradesh, and Karnataka, and so on and so forth. That's what's really going to be happening. I think today they wanted to have a show of strength to show that the entire Congress party it was a big deal, and we are all in it together. So you have an Ashok Gehlot, a Sachin Pilot, you had Bhupesh Baghel, you had, of course, Bhupinder Hooda, Randeep Surjewala, all of them over there.
Sandeep, I'm sorry, you were saying something before we went to Pallavi.
No, that's all. Only thing I was mentioning is Suhail. Though I'm hesitant to subscribe to these kind of easy theories, but that bit about Narendra Modi having a factor in the Lok Sabha and the local elections as the chief minister, his factor doesn't work so much because there is an element of local incumbency and the local leaders and all that has also an effect. And that's, as we saw even last time around in 2018, 17, 18, how it happens. That will partly hold true also now. In terms of, say, when Himachal, Narendra Modi is saying that, look at see my face every time you cast vote. That doesn't work so much in our local election as it works in a national election. But that could change, as you are saying, if the infighting increases and all that. It's difficult to carry that through for 3 general elections. Is the
Okay, I think he's got a connection issue. Sandeep, I think
So
there's an internet issue. We can't. Your voice is breaking.
Can you hear me now? Yeah.
Now we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, therefore, as I say, BJP's bigger concern will be itself from its current tally, how it retains those numbers in those states from where it had got a sweep, be it Rajasthan, be even West Bengal 18-19. How do they keep that? And whether they're able to compensate that in southern states or other states, that will be the biggest challenge for BJP going forward.
And that Pallavi is right. We've just had Adesh Gupta resign. The coming to Delhi, since we all know Delhi so well, why is the BJP unable to crack it in Delhi? That's like an important question that we should raise. They did come in all guns loaded this time around in terms of the campaign, in terms of the presence. They were doing press cons. They were, on point with their message, but they're still not able to crack the Delhi,
Who are you
juggernaut.
asking? Who are you asking?
I can ask Pallavi. I said all of us have a Delhi connection. Any one of you can answer.
Suhail, go ahead, since he knows everything.
No, I've handled Sheila Dikshit's campaign, so I know the Delhi landscape from a political point of view. When in 1998 Sheila Dikshit became Chief Minister of Delhi for the first time, remember Vajpayee ji was the interim Prime Minister and then became Prime Minister in 1999 when he won the election. Sheila Dikshit brought a certain amount of empathy to her job. I remember creating two brands for her, Bhagidari and My Delhi I Care. Bhagidari was a partnership between RWAs and the government. It was presided over by a guy called S. Raghunathan, who then became Chief Secretary of Delhi. Delhi at that point in time, because you had Vajpayee ji, who was, a more generous, warm, embracing human being, there was no friction. What Kejriwal has done is he has brought to the fore that, look, I'm ruling this state with my hands tied behind my back. Law and order is not under me. Even summoning the assembly to order is not in his purview. There is a lot of interference and what he would claim as interruption and disruption by the lieutenant governor. So 2 or 3 things have happened in Delhi. By the way, Delhi is the capital of freedom fighters in India. They fight for anything that's free. That's the nature of the beast in Delhi. What has Kejriwal done? He has made direct benefit transfers of a different kind. No matter how much you might abuse him, Mohalla clinics have been successful. The education system in Delhi has improved, no matter what you might say in terms of the narrative. Also, please remember, he has had a lot of money to plow in the media. So he has a very pliant, very empathetic, very sympathetic media working in his favor. Even when the whole liquor gate happened, you saw that people in the media, in mainline channels, were also mollycoddling and pussyfooting, and no one had a call to make. He turned that also into victimhood. You have to understand that Kejriwal is adopting all the techniques that Modi adopted in 2013. Three, number one, he plays the victim card with great panache. Number two, he's the greatest deflector. And he changes his stance every day, which, by the way, in Indian political systems works really well. The third, he's right there on the ground. The BJP doesn't have a face for Delhi. Who is the BJP leader that you would call a leader of Delhi? Who's the face of BJP in Delhi? Is it Manoj Tiwari? I don't know. Is it Gautam Gambhir? I don't know. Who is the BJP's face in Delhi? Gone are the days when you had a Sahib Singh Verma and before that a Madanlal Khurana. These were stalwarts of the BJP. Sushma Swaraj. Today, the BJP is bereft of a face in Delhi. So the face that they see in Delhi because of national media representing the BJP is Modi. And Delhi says, to hell with it. Modi will be busy running the country. Who's going to run Delhi? Kyunki yahan koi hai nahi. So until and unless the BJP does 2 or 3 things. Number one, define a leader of Delhi from Delhi for Delhi. Number two, where the person works non-stop. Number three, you should not have had the issues that you had with the MCD even after Modi's arrival on the national scene. Of the last 15 years, 8 years, Modi's been in power, which means he has zero tolerance for corruption. But the corruption in the MCD has been there. They've not been able to cleanse the MCD of corruption. So all that is now playing back. So, as was said many years ago, in India, we don't choose the government we love. We throw the government we hate. So the other person willy-nilly comes in. So MCD is very much like what Brutus told Mark Antony in William Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. When Antony says, why did you stab Caesar? He says, it's not that I loved Caesar less, but I loved Rome more. So that's the dilemma, the conundrum in Delhi. So you've got to understand, you need someone who will be active, who will take on Kejriwal's manipulation, his Machiavellianness, his times deception, but you have no one. Because these guys are busy pandering to the central leadership, which also resides in Delhi, that they have given short shrift to the person in Delhi.
Also to change demographics, Suhail, but before that, the point Suhail makes is the very important point. Today, not only does BJP not have a face in Delhi to take on like Madan Lal Khurana or Sahib Singh Baji, as he mentioned, at least from whatever I know of Modi's core team, I don't think after Arun Jaitley and Sushma Swaraj left, he's got anybody who even understands between, there is no such stalwarts in the team who has that feel and pulse of Delhi as these people had. So there, I think they are a little bit out of touch as well. And when you look at an MCT election, there 50% of the people who are your urbanites, they're not interested in voting, or even those who vote, they are disenchanted with BJP. A lot of those people who does a voting for them, and the rest are the new demographic which we're finding who are very happy with the freebies and the rewdies, which they are getting, and for them, Arvind Kejriwal is a messiah. So MCD election per se is not, is difficult, and they will face the same thing again if there was an assembly election tomorrow. It's high time they've sorted out this whole, the leadership issue. And one clear pointer on this, somebody did this analysis, which was very interesting to see among the 6 MPs of Delhi, how have each of their constituencies fared, and that has a clear story to say that which constituencies people were able to preserve and where they lost. Pallavi, whom did you vote for? Or you're a Noida bus?
I don't have a vote in Delhi. I have a vote in Noida. I live in.
But I think that's an important point. I think the BJP should look at which MPs are pulling their weight and which ones are not pulling their weight, because frankly, a lot of these MPs have won because of Prime Minister Modi.
No. Taking off from what Shondeep has said, there's one important segue. Please remember, Kejriwal, as Delhi's chief minister, is pitching himself against India's prime minister in every election. Okay, number one. Number two, so therefore, when you choose a leader of the BJP in Delhi, there has to be a certain savoir-faire, there has to be a certain panache. More importantly, there have to be the beginnings of a certain stature. That's very important when you choose. You cannot say that because I'm in Delhi and I run the central government, I can keep the B team. See, no one buys a brand that's cheap. They buy brands that add value. Where is the value add in BJP's political leadership qua Delhi? That's the question that the BJP needs to ask. And BJP then needs to identify someone who will be able to take Kejriwal on and therefore create a deflection strategy where Kejriwal cannot keep comparing himself or benchmarking himself against Modi, but will have to willy-nilly benchmark himself against this particular person. And there are many. Look at what Smriti Irani could do. Smriti Irani could actually upset the apple cart if she was given the opportunity. She has done it before, she can do it again. But the point is, who's making these calls and who's taking these calls?
I think the candidates for the Lok Sabha from Delhi are going to be definitely changed, because Hansraj Hans, we don't see him anywhere. I only see Gautam Gambhir, who in fact is being tipped as one of the persons possibly is going to lead the BJP there in Delhi. But apart from that, there's no one. Manoj Tiwari is often not taken seriously. Hansraj Hans, we don't see. Ramesh Viduri, I saw him, but we met him in Parliament, so they're not like. Meenakshi Lekhi is one. Meenakshi Lekhi is again, the woman factor, and this government pitches a lot for that. But then I don't know. She's a minister. So will they, because clearly the next reshuffle will have a lot of focus on organization, because possibly it's going to be the last reshuffle before 2024 elections. So it's quite possible that some of the high profile ministers may now be sent to an organization. And, you'll have other people who will do the grassroots and groundwork and who will become the face of the government, and people differently the thing. But, it's very important for the BJP to win the assembly elections now in Delhi, because he's very smug. He's very comfortable. Arvind Kejriwal as being the CM of Delhi and also now getting that hold of MCD. Where, frankly speaking, BJP ka performance wasn't too bad. So I am going to see the two of them at loggerheads. But all along, Kejriwal has been saying that I couldn't do much. MCD mere haath mein nahi hai. Now he can't get away by doing that, which means it's a
But he's
bittersweet.
always deflecting.
Yeah,
He's
he
always
always does.
deflecting.
So now,
With the stubble burning, he said Punjab is
yeah.
not with
I'm
me.
telling
Then
you,
he got
he's the
Punjab.
biggest. He is an absolute. He's an absolute deflectionist. Forget anarchist. He's a deflectionist. This is the same man who 18 months ago abused Amrinder Singh, saying that the stubble burning he is responsible
Yes.
for.
Yeah.
Today has turned the table, saying that look, I'm only one. There's a troika. There's Delhi, Haryana, and Punjab. So blame Khattar
But
also.
see, I'm not able to understand that when Captain is a part of the BJP now and he's a part of the national executive now of the BJP, why isn't he being used to hit out at Kejriwal on the stubble burning? Now, the stubble burning, everyone has forgotten. No one is even talking about it now. No one is even talking about pollution in Delhi. Ask of Mumbai, we are talking about. But you need to use the captain. He's very good with his words to just give it back to Arvind Kejriwal. They also, for some reason, I don't know why in Delhi they are not able to pitch for themselves strongly. I mean, captain should have been used to rebut him. Ek ke baad ek interview do, sound bites do.
No, that's true. And the other thing, Pallavi, is also the infighting is also legendary, right, in the BJP Delhi. That's the other factor.
Yeah. Himachal, mein we saw what happened. Delhi
Yes,
is
no,
also one thing.
Congress
Plus
goes to
the
the
fact
same
that they are
story.
not very. No, but they're not also very strong, high-profile faces. They're not very powerful faces, in Delhi of the BJP.
You have not invested as the party in creating a second line of nationally or even locally exposed leadership. Other than when people become chief ministers of their respective states, which BJP runs, you tell me how many leaders of the BJP do you know? Do you know anyone who has been built up assiduously by the BJP to become the face of those places? You saw even in your state, Uttarakhand, how many changes happened within the span of almost 8 or 9 months. So
Yeah.
the BJP, even in Bengal, the whole Shivendu Adhikari thing happened, almost 2 months, just 2 months or 3 months before the election. And even in Bengal, they were blamed for intestine battles that were taking place. If you remember, Babul Supriyo was abused because he was more worried about the damage to his car than the damage to the TMC. And this has been a history of the BJP. The BJP has chosen not to project leaders of a particular kind, and I don't know why. Because Modi is so secure, both in his persona and in his appeal, that he needn't worry. So why are they not promoting local level leadership in a manner that is both media amplified as well as purposefulness amplified? So there's a purpose to what they're saying.
But maybe
there's
they
a-
don't
that's-
want it. Maybe
that's
they
it.
don't
Yeah,
want to
that's
project a local
Exactly my
leader.
point.
I think that's also an ideological thing. That's not how the BJP works in terms of a Vyakti Vishesh way. And also they feel that you will not, no one amplifies you. You have to fit the bill. You have to go out there and get to that point. No one amplified the prime minister. He built it brick by brick on his own. And I think that's an ideological thing, not necessarily anything to do with not projecting anybody. It's just an ideological thing. That's not how they work. This is a cadre party, and people have to stand up and shine on their own. But Sandeep, I'm curious to know from you. Do you going into 2024? I already read P. Chidambaram's comment today, and he said Congress after the Himachal win is the pole position as far as the opposition is concerned, and everyone else should kind of coalesce around the Congress and then take on the BJP. Is that a pipe dream? Do you think that's going to happen with such a small state win? But what if they win Karnataka and then retain Rajasthan? Then what happens?
And Chhattisgarh.
And Chhattisgarh.
See, I think then they get into the game. But even otherwise, even assuming, let's do a counterfactual thing, if Congress did not win Himachal, I don't think they would have liked to give up their prima donna position. They would still say, look, Bharat Jodo Yatra is such a huge success. Everybody loves Rahul Gandhi, so we are still number one. This Himachal is being used again for various people to flatter partly also, the Gandhis and saying, let's see, we are making a revival. So many people tweeting that it's, beginning, new beginning, and from here on, we'll just keep coming back. Maybe. But I don't think Himachal per se will determine that. My own reading, therefore, is Congress, why you have a problem today in the opposition unity. Kejriwal is not going to identify himself with any one party or any faction. He is looking at long term for himself, and therefore he would like to keep his distinct identity from a branding perspective. You see, he's very careful. He doesn't come as anti-Hindu at all. He doesn't want to be seen that. At the same time, while he believes in freebies and rewardis, he doesn't like to be seen as a left liberal too. He gives a very conservative approach of being a middle class, etc. So he's carefully calibrates his position. So he is not going to swing at all with the others, whether it's Mamta, KCR, Sharad Pawar, and all. He'll keep his distinct. He cannot identify himself with Congress because then he'll get consumed. And Congress will take a long time to yield that position, because if they yield that position just now of giving up being the prima donna of the opposition spectrum, then that's it becomes for Rahul Gandhi, that's the end of the game. They can't afford to give up that slot.
See,
So they are probably
what Shundeep has said has reverberations of a futuristic kind, and bear this with me. The BJP now needs to do two kinds of thinking. What is the post Modi scenario, which I've been saying on other channels as well? They need to recognize that this is the prime minister who normally keeps his word, who said at 75 he will walk away into the sunset. But as Mr. Vajpayee said, that people leave the prime minister's residence only in two ways. Either the people call them back or God summons them back. But if Modi has decided or will decide to retire at 75, where is the succession planning in the BJP? It is akin to the Congress. You might hold an election, but everyone knows that Nadda is actually acting at the behest of the top two leaders, which, by the way, whether it's good or bad, that I'm not interested in, but it's a reality. Number two, you've got to recognize that you are wrong, Advaita. The BJP has promoted leadership when they have chosen to. Yogi Adityanath being a case in point. Today, Yogi Adityanath is doing a superb job in terms of amplification. His Davos forays, the fact that his team is in London, his team is in Germany, looking at investments, law and order, he's being able to do that, and he's being able to amplify. So it's not that people aren't. Look at what Sarma is doing in Assam. So it is incorrect to say that the BJP, because it's ideology driven, it doesn't promote people. Of course, it promotes people when it chooses to.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. These are all both mass leaders. Yogi Adityanath was a strong mass leader from Uttar Pradesh. It wasn't that he was promoted by the BJP. He had to distinguish himself. Same thing with Himanta Biswa Sarma. It's not like he had to kind of prove himself on that front. He was already there. He was running as a number 2 for many years in Assam.
Yeah, but the fact is, they got promoted, Bailey. They got promoted.
They got a job because they were right man at the right time, but nobody was kind of sitting there and doing succession planning and career planning for them. That's not how it works.
Since you are always bright on a Sunday, why don't you tell us what the solution is? You see,
I'm listening.
You are in a comfortable position. You are calling all of us. You are making us waste our intellect, expend our intellect actually, helping you make money so that you buy fancy cars. All you do is you play the conductor. If you're that brilliant, why don't you learn the concerto?
Any fancy car.
You are making us work. Why don't you give us a solution, B? You're not a conductor of this political orchestra.
Your problem is that you hate to be corrected. God forbid anyone corrected.
Please remember, I love being corrected as long as the person correcting me has the correct approach to correctness and is in what he believes is correct.
So, okay, Sandeep, can you come in now, because we are obfuscating?
No, I agree with you there, Advaita. uh, people, as you were saying, in actual grooming, as we understand in a corporate world or in other, say, services or elsewhere, BJP doesn't do that. And there is this whole contradiction. Even when Indira Gandhi was the most powerful, she did not really promote local leaders. So it doesn't really go hand in hand. Even in corporate organizations, I have seen when you have a very, whether in India or abroad, when you have a very, very charismatic, high profile CEO, they do not always promote a number two person easily, or even if they do, they don't sort of uh, relinquish charge easily. And there are so many such instances where people keep coming back. So I think it's something to do with something more deeply psychological in that issue. Now, both Yogi Adityanath and Himanta Biswa Sharma, if you see, Yogi Adityanath, if you remember, when he was appointed as CM, he kind of put his foot down. I don't think anybody was talking of him initially, of him becoming the CM at that stage. He was not even an assembly, an MLA. So, but he was putting his foot down, saying that, you have to consider me, I am in the game, blah, blah. And then when they finally yielded to him, everybody was surprised. Nobody, that time Maurya's name and other people's name were being touted. Similarly, with Himanta Biswa Sharma, it wasn't a very easy transition from Sonowal to Sharma. Sharma also, I'm sure, had to some extent, exert pressure to get that position. But unfortunately, you don't have that kind of people in other states. And the worrying factor is, even if they have, to some extent, clipped the wings of Raman Singh is now out of the picture, but even Shivraj Singh may not be so much in favor, but you really don't see anybody being groomed under him, who could take on the same situation in Rajasthan as well. They neither can they, take on Vasundhara, nor do they have anybody really ready below her who can be a direct claimant to that seat next year.
Hmm, hmm. I don't know why Pallavi keeps coming and going. It's so annoying. Like she'll, turn her camera on, then she'll turn it off. Now she's back again. What are you doing?
Nothing. There's just little things happening at home.
I can't believe this. Yeah. Either she's in a car or she's on and off. I mean, it is. Anyway,
I mean, I keep putting her back on, then she switches off her camera, then I take her off, then she's on, camera turns on again.
Suhail, you should call your entire Sunday club for lunch or dinner when you're in India next time. Or you are in India. I think
He's in India.
this is a nice try. I am in India.
Pallavi,
I'm very much in India. And of course, we will have lunch. But I've seen your track record with Shundeep. Whenever he's invited you for lunch, you have actually
that
eaten
is not true, Sandeep. You've been
eaten his food and then abused him.
Today I
not
couldn't
only
come.
that,
I told you I was anchoring.
I can give you an instance of this trip of mine. First, she said, "Oh, I've got Advaita coming along, so we must go to a nice place." She doesn't go to any.
I'll Sandeep,
go to the
you're
house
such
of
a liar. You told me why get her along. Why do we need a kebab mein haddi? Are you
Exactly.
Sandeep, you are such a liar.
And she told me this yesterday, and I said it's okay. That's his call. I won't embarrass him on live TV with this. But it's come out.
But he lies to be had to.
And then yesterday, a day before yesterday was some excuse. Yesterday she said, "No,
it was
Parliament."
No excuse. Himachal happened.
See, there are people from all over the world who are watching this program.
She says,
only there are other ways of fixing a free lunch. I mean, there are people who are expecting you guys to give us food for thought. All you're interested in is food on your personal plates.
But listen, look at our viewers also. What are they paying attention to?
That's not AIN.
But does she run the channel? I have to run.
No, that's because she stole the air conditioning for the heater during winter.
I'm just.
No, but even our viewers are interested in things like, what is hanging on Pallavi's wall and things like that. So our viewers are also not very focused on the topic. I think it's a bunch of everybody is distracted on this channel, from the panelists to the viewers to everybody. But
But you know what I'm interested in is TMC is suddenly silent. I don't see Mamata Banerjee fuming, angry anymore, which is why there's a section who thinks that,
He
she's for
congratulated
peace.
Jagdeep Dhankhar, huh? She was the first to congratulate him after his first maiden speech, apparently. It's made news in
She
the
was
papers.
here in Delhi for 4 days. For 4 days, she never met anyone, no political leader, nothing. Every time she would come here, she would meet her brother Arvind Kejriwal. She came here, she had a meeting at Shaugato Mukhopadhyay, not Mukhopadhyay, Shaugato Roy's house. Then she went to Ajmer and Pushkar. Then she had the G20 thing twice. And not only that, when apparently Kharge was talking about labor thing, he brought up the issue of labor in the G20 meeting, she snubs him and says, let's stick to the topic. Let's not change the topic. And we saw those pictures which came out of the G20 meeting, right? With the Prime Minister, this and that. Because she was also very firebrand 2024, trying to build up a united front. That is nothing. Obviously, things have also fallen apart between Arvind Kejriwal and Didi, 100%.
But what
I'll tell
could
you
be the
why.
reason? The
It's
area
very
of
simple.
conflict.
No, it's very simple. Mamata Banerjee is seeing the rise of the muffler man. Remember, people fall out only over three things: money, power, and more power. You don't fall out for a fourth thing. It's very clear that Kejriwal does not want to be in the same bucket, as I explained in my opening remarks, as any other political opposition leader. He's very clearly distancing himself so that he's not seen as one of the many. He's seen as one above the equals. Come in.
Correct.
Now Sohail's
Oh,
gone.
now Sohail has disappeared. Someone else
Pallavi,
coming.
what do you? I get StreamYard is so rude. You get an option like kick from studio. Love it.
Oh, there is?
Okay,
Just be serious,
yeah.
Be serious.
Kick from the studio. Pallavi, what do you think of C.R. Patil after that momentous historical win in Gujarat? Do you think he can be the
President.
next BJP president? Yeah, that's what our viewers
Yeah,
ask.
but I don't know. Yeah, very interesting that question someone is asking. I mean, let me say, he has just the right, they like him. And he's also been very low profile. And he's done his background work. And, I think the mandate was very clear that we have to ensure that not only do we do better than last time, we have to beat Madhav Singh Solanki's record, which he did. But not to say the credit only goes to him, but clearly look at these two presidents. On one hand, you have JP Nadda, party president from Himachal, not delivered because, even in his area, the BJP hasn't done well. And here you have another person who is not the president, but who has delivered, who has given that big moment to the BJP. And, there is this whole talk that JP Nadda is not being removed. I think they did not remove him. I think the term was ending in December. But I don't think they're going to go for 2024 elections with no change in the top post. So I wouldn't
Really?
rule out C.R. Patil. Yeah. South ka hai na? No, he's not from South. Yeah.
No, so I mean, this is interesting. So right now on TV, by the way, the Prime Minister is inaugurating the airport. And Pallavi, you're so right. I saw pictures of the Goa airport.
Fascinating, na?
Beautiful.
Why can't we have a nice Kolkata airport? I really want to know. You get down and then it's so horrible. That's one airport I just don't see things. And they're so laid back. I mean, trolley chalta nahi hai. No one is even looking at you. I mean, very lazy airport.
He means what?
Well, Sohail is like Kolkata.
They don't recognize you.
I beg your pardon?
They do recognize me, Sandeep. Please travel with me the next time to Kolkata. And let me tell you, I have given selfies there. People are proud of me as a Bengali May who has done well.
Wow.
So,
I just want to correct you. You can't give selfies there. Say people have taken selfies with you. I'm distraught at the continuous erosion of grammar on your part. Every day is a massive assault on the English language. You spelled has as SHA today in one of your tweets. I mean, it drives me nuts. You can't be stationary. You're mobile all the time. You can't spell. I mean, what is it that you do right? Other than appear on a Vaida Kala show where you're only complaining either about the fact that no lunch invitation has been extended or that the trolleys don't work in Calcutta.
They don't.
There you
But
are.
the balls are really competitive. Like Goa's got an airport. Now suddenly it's like Calcutta airport is terrible. And why can't we get a nice airport? It started so fast. No, but it's a stunning airport. And I also
Beautiful
saw
airport, yeah.
visuals of the new metro in Mumbai. It was on a trial run. I think it's just incredible the kind of infrastructure push that's going on across the country, and we should be happy actually. So here people find your anger very funny. So if you're trying to have another impact on this show, it hasn't worked. But
By
everybody,
the way,
thank you so
Goa
much.
Airport has been named after Manohar Parrikar.
Has it already? Is that
It
announced?
says PM Narendra Modi inaugurates Manohar International
Yeah.
Airport, Mopa in
Oh,
Goa.
that's lovely.
But
That's
this is where
lovely.
they're stupid. It could be any
Why?
Manohar. It could be Manohar Kala. Just say the Manohar Parrikar International Airport. Like we say Indira Gandhi International Airport. Otherwise, we might as well say Pallavi International Airport. At least give the full name.
Either Kolkata
Yeah, but
one
what's
will
wrong
make
with
sure.
Pallavi International
Kolkata
Airport?
is Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose.
But Pallavi International Airport will be PIA, which is the official airline of Pakistan. So I don't know if that works.
Now, see, this is it.
But anyway, thank you everybody for joining us on this quick Sunday Club about the election results and what they mean for the future as we head into 2024. It's of course December, and we're 2 weeks away from 2023, and I think next year everything is going to be seen from the lens of 2024. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, and there are
We're
many
already-
elections coming up, many important state elections coming up in 2023. So very interesting year.
What are the dates, Pallavi? What are the dates of the upcoming elections? Just, I mean, roughly
So
around
it's all
this time.
mid next year. I mean, I think it's from May onwards. Rajasthan will be in the winters, I think. Rajasthan, Madhya
Yeah,
Pradesh,
Rajasthan is
Chhattisgarh.
with us.
Karnataka.
Karnataka is also. Karnataka also.
Karnataka will be
Karnataka is
May.
also-
also no,
Mid-year,
Karnataka, I
no?
think is in
No,
November,
Karnataka
if
is
I'm not
mid-year, right?
mistaken.
Karnataka is like
Do you
June,
think,
July.
Pallavi, let's end it with a spin. Do you think Modi will try to coincide some of these elections with 2024 to move towards at least partially towards one nation, one election situation?
But I don't think that one nation, one poll thing will happen. At least not for these elections. See,
No,
I mean,
not for
BJP's
the
calculation is that they'll
party.
see. The problem is that if BJP loses Karnataka and if BJP loses Karnataka, that's a huge blow. Congress and BJP wins Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, so they have 2-2 each. They get the mojo back. So I don't know. I don't think he's going to. I don't think
If
he's
he
going to put
goes
all
to-
the 4 elections together. No. May 2024, tab tak they can't stretch, yeah. 2024 itself has very important elections. Odisha, Andhra
No, they
Pradesh,
can bring it
Telangana.
forward, no? They can bring those forward, no?
I don't think so. I think Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, all of that may happen with the Lok Sabha elections. I won't be too surprised on that.
Will Sunday Club ever happen in person? I doubt it. We don't like each other that
Yeah,
much.
Suhail has offered us lunch, no? He said that.
That's all talk.
No. He's a man of his word. He'll keep it.
Anytime.
No, Sandeep is coming back in Jan, so in the new year we're having lunch. By that time, IIM, Abhijit will also
I'll
get
also
back his
I'll
word.
also have a little party in January. I'll do that.
Good.
We're
Why
done
do you
with
have to
that.
do a little or a big? Just have a party. Why does everything in your case have to be either miniaturized or maximized? Just say, I want to have a party. What is a little party?
That's just the way I roll. So we will discuss
Yeah,
UCC
that's
next
why
time.
the stone gathers no moss.
Oh, we will discuss UCC. I think this is really picking up and we have to talk about it. And we will ask Mehraji, our bald lawyer, to join us for this one, for sure. But anyway, thank you everybody for watching. And we shall catch you soon. And someone's joined us now. Who joined us now? Sandeep, the show started at 6 p.m. Sandeep Balakrishnan. Not at 7. He's coming on.
Oh, poor thing.
Anyway,
Oh,
poor
no.
thing. God bless him.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.